Love can
You
become
evolve.
love can become stale. Have you ever?
That's why I always say marriage is much more than about just love.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because
Love
love.
can become stale. A woman can leave you and love the hell out of you. Should you have to teach someone to love you? Prior to the straightforward answer, what is it for you? Like, what does it mean for you for someone to love you?
It's so many ways to define love and what love is.
For me, I'll try to answer that question.
Maybe that'll help.
What it looks like from my point of view for someone to love me. And for me, that is obviously, I'll use the general term to love me, not necessarily unconditionally, but through my faults. So it's not giving up on me. It's having a passion for me to be around or for me to be among you.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's to love me. It's making sure that whatever we're going through, and this is for any relationship, friendship, husband, wife, whatever we're going through, you keep my best interest at heart.
Supporting, just always having my back.
Yeah.
Putting me in my place.
Mm-hmm. Out of love.
Trusting, yeah, trusting my actions, and it's a lot that goes into that.
I agree.
Which, as I was listening to you, that made me feel like you were answering a question for me or helping me to have my answer to the question.
Okay.
So, do you need to teach somebody to love you? I think you have to. If I need somebody that is going to help me understand my faults and help to put me in my place and to trust me with certain things and to be understanding, I have to give them some way to figure out how to do that. You don't know how to make sure that I feel secure if you don't know what makes me feel insecure.
Okay.
So if I feel like my idea of security is if the man walking down the street makes me feel threatened, I know you'll hold my hand, but you don't see the guy as a threat. You know you got my back, but you don't see the guy as a threat. But in my mind, the guy's a threat. We see that differently. I didn't teach you what my behavior was toward it. So I have to teach you that. So, and that's just one example, but to be able to adjust to whatever my needs are, because love is about to fulfill those needs and to be able to adjust to whatever those needs are. I do have to help to teach you to do that. I can't assume that you are going to just adjust and know and fulfill all those needs exactly how I want to.
Right. I think people look at that question different. When you're teaching someone how to love you, it's not necessarily verbal cues or, in a didactic setting. It's more so language, like body language. It's more so behavior. It is conversation, obviously. But for example, you're building this relationship with someone. They do something that you don't like. For other people, it might be the pettiest crap. You remember we used to argue about toothpaste being squoze up, squoze up, versus you just balling the toothpaste up. Like, it was certain things that was super petty. As you become uncomfortable or offended, or when you just simply downright don't like something, you use those different cues, whether it's your face saying it, whether it's you verbally saying it, or whatever. And because of the attraction and things that I'm trying to build with you, I'm trying to get to a point of love, then I accept that cue and correct the behavior. So when we're talking about teaching people how to love you, like, should that be the case, or should they just come in automatically knowing? That's what I'm referring to. It's not necessarily a sit-down lesson. Why shouldn't people come into a relationship or whatever with their own version of how to love you and that be acceptable? Like, I feel like I know how to love you. When I meet you, you know, I do all the things that gear me towards getting to a point of loving you.
But you can never know all of those things. You can have some of that, but you can never know all of that. How do you know that that is what that person would need? Your thoughts or whatever may be based on what society feels like you should exhibit as love. I bring her flowers, I take her to dinner, we go out to the movies, I spend time with her. And some people might not even want all of that.
Right.
But because that's your assumption, I think that would be selfish to think that you coming in is the perfect I know how to love you because you don't know all of that person's needs. So I think it goes back to just what love is it's about fulfilling those needs. We've been together 20 years. We are still learning.
Right.
And you grow, you change.
Yeah.
Your view of love is different.
Yeah.
Like, it's so you can't assume that you'll always have the answer to this is how I love, especially at that moment in time, because you also need different love at different times. Think of a baby.
Yeah.
When a baby might need to be held or rocked to sleep or fed. Those are different needs at different times. You have to learn
those cues
to be able to nurture that baby in the right way. So it's the same with the relationship.
I feel like the 20-year-old Trav, that guy's version of I love you totally differs from the more seasoned version of Trav and that I love you. The 20-year-old version of I love you was mostly built on a premise of hope. I hope I am able to be all that you need.
Okay.
Versus the seasoned Trav is I love you. I know this is at this moment where my love kicks in. Once you've matured, your level of love and how you love should mature as well. So I definitely agree that it's constantly evolving. You know, it has to. Like, love can become stale. Have you ever?
That's why I always say marriage is much more than about just love.
Yeah, absolutely. Because love can become stale. A woman can leave you and love the hell out of you, but because your love and how you express it hasn't grown with her, she needs more. Yep. You know what I mean? Like, if your level of love grows with her and you broke, she probably stay with you.
Call me off guard with that one, but I'm good.
I'm gonna try and think of some more stuff to catch you off guard.
Okay. That'll work.
Cool.
That'll work.
All right.
All right. I'm Chris.
And I'm Trav.
And this is
Fake Rich and Tired.